How you doing, guys? Welcome, everyone. Welcome, chat. Make sure to like the video, fellas. How you doing? How's it going for you today? Let me share our live stream with our community on Discord. Hope you have a great time of the week. Good stuff, right? How is it going, chat? How are you today? Welcome, everyone. Morning, guys. What's happening in the markets? We have about 57 minutes to go till we got today's hot announcement on the ISM manufacturing PMI. So we're kind of pre-market right now, and obviously this is going to appear 30 minutes after the market opens, so it's going to be an interesting moment. Hey guys, how are you today? Morning, fellas. How's it going? Well, as it looks so far, it tends to be bullish with some great levels. The double confirmation appearing on a 200 EMA that we face today is tremendous. It's very valuable. And a possible breakout here. One target that is huge for today will be the yearly opening 269. Right, so almost 180 points from here. Daily, weekly, monthly opening sits on 21,000, so any retest on that level should function. Any retest on that level should capture the buying pressure. Hope you enjoy your Monday, fellas, and the starting of the week. Ticktick Trader is right here enjoying a beautiful green tea, Japanese green tea as usually. We take off and we are looking forward. We do have our 3 accounts, 2 of them 150k, the third one is on 250k. We got slightly above $1,000 profit on this one, 150k, and the 250k is sitting on minus. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my settings and I'm do copy trading between the 150k accounts. Right, so I'm gonna select the first one to be the lead account, and then selecting basically the second 250k account to follow the leader account. Saving the changes, and now it's clearly telling me that we are having a leader and a follower account. So we're gonna do copy trading today. What's happening? Are we going for a breakout here on 21,100s? What do you think about it today, guys? Can you show us your 200 EMA settings, please? Yeah. The settings are functioning in this way. It is a non-editable 200 EMA. So this is pretty much having its automatic representation. There is no way to set your days. There is no ways to set your length as usually. Visibility looks like this, but in terms of the style, there's other EMAs where you can edit. This one it's not. This one it's called, if we go into about a script, it's called EMA 20, 50, 100, and 200. It's done by this specific person, Dr. Sweets, and it has 11,700 likes. Right, so that's the way you can find it from the community. EMA, it's this one, basically the first one from Dr. Sweets, if you want to grab attention on that. Does functions, reacts nicely, and has the ability to confirm certain levels. For example, this bearishness over here, this bullishness right there, confirming the strength, and so on different time frames. It's getting better and better. Welcome guys. Make sure to like the video fellas so we get started on our material. Hit that like so we can get this one popular. Facing a form of rejection here, which is kind of obvious, but there is a very strong possibility today to be bullish as the market looks. Manufacturing PMI is expected basically above 50, and that's the indication. So anything above 50 indicates industry expansion, below indicates industry contraction. It's expected to be above 50. Depends what does the market wants to see and fears. It doesn't mean if it's above 50 you're gonna go bullish every single time. Definitely not that easy. Join our Discord community guys. Let me share with you our Discord as well and attach that in the chat. So for those of you that are not on our Discord, make sure to join us on board. And of course, enjoy your moments, enjoy your times on the live stream. We're going to continue trading today. An interesting spot here to consider opening a short, which is exactly the opposite like a knife catching would be. You just cannot be bearish because you had a double top structure. You just cannot be bearish and exclude the possibility of a continuation here. Definitely not. I would definitely not short blindly at such level, expecting after my short to see the strength appearing. I would love to see the strength of the bears. I would love to see the way they react before I could touch basically the markets. If it's a case to short, yet I would not really searching to short the markets at this moment. I would incline towards searching to long the markets. I hope you have a great time, a great start of the week, and a beautiful moment out here. I hope you had a great weekend as well. Things are running quite smooth in the markets. So if we look into the 4 hours, we do have a decent reaction so far from 20,460s, 21,085. That's a decent reaction out here on the 4-hour candlestick for Nasdaq. Yearly is a target that is pretty much easy to be achieved during this specific week. And then you got here a problem on the 4-hour. You have a such crazy FVG, which stands for fair value gap, and that looks like that. So even if the markets wants to be bearish for a longer term, which is not the case, but even if that would be the case, without taking the liquidity in that specific rectangle of an FVG pattern, it's not going to become bearish, right? So even if it would be bearish, that liquidity must be taken out first. And that kind of means we should expect a push to the upside. Of course, you definitely got to be familiar with the FTC rule 4.41. And handle any specific situation of trading accordingly to your financial situation. Trading can result in losses and all that stuff. You gotta be careful. Great time so far. Beautiful moments out here. Beautiful time of the spring. It is a new moment to flourish and dominate the markets. A bit of rejection here appearing on the 5-minute, but not a big deal yet. I wouldn't be scared by it so far. Probably we're gonna chop at this levels till the opening bell. Well, you're gonna see more aggressiveness, but as of now, breaking above is kind of difficult. Hey buddy, how you doing, Leon? How you have a starting time of the week? 18 minutes to go for us to grab the starting of the markets. Daily looks very interesting. Daily has not been losing, has been reacting basically from the 200 EMA I've been talking about. It is a very important level. And that indicator helps a lot. FVG remains in the highs. The market is never going to be bearish like this, while leaving a fair value gap on the top. Let's take a look at the other markets as well. 4-hour candlesticks. Nvidia, what's happening? Nvidia is on a strong buying pressure. Definitely not to underestimate Nvidia. 125 with a bit of pre-market lower. It's still strong. The US dollar DXY obviously suffering a form of rejection from the 4-hour 200 EMA. So that's something to confirm, especially with this candle right there. You have a wick above the body of the candlestick, and then it's continuing downwards as at a time as such candle has been closed. Of course, that represents strength from the bears. So it's just a market continuation. US dollar, that's the way it looks like. Gold looks great. A reaction is appearing on 4-hour EMA. Not surprising. S&P 500 looks amazing. I mean, the last 4-hour candle we had with a whole buying pressure, eating that red candle, which was the candle scaring people away, closing below the 200 EMA in a brutal way. The reaction is tremendous. Make sure to like the video, fellas, and spread the message. Share with your community, guys, and help us gain more and more fellas. The big stories are around Bitcoin, guys. Strategic reserve has been announced by Donald Trump. Strategic reserve in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and Cardano. So this is going to be massive. And a potential, this has not been announced, it's a speculation, 0% capital tax gain, which is going to be huge as well. So they're preparing also for this specific week for the oops. Yeah, sorry guys. I was expecting you guys see the CFTC rule. I was, sharing with you my screen. Yep, I was sharing with you my screen and talking about things. I was looking around the markets as an overview. Sorry about it. Yeah, crypto is pumping very, very hard because of the cryptocurrency news correlated with the strategic reserve in crypto, a national reserve. That's gonna be massive if it happens as it has been communicated. It's going to be massive. Nice movement right here. I'm gonna grab my entry. Single
Order
contract
filled.
long. Looking for a bit of a scalp here. Quick trading. Hey buddy, how's it going? 13 minutes to go till the opening. This is a pre-market trade. A possibility here to force the 21-100s breakout. So I'm gonna be happy going for a bit of volatility here. Let's get back to our Nasdaq stuff. 5 minute, which looks tremendously powerful. Thank you, we're great guys. Thank you, buddy. We're having a great time prepared for a beautiful start of the week. And a great moment with our community members. Let's go for a nice quick scalp here. $140. Again, we're nearly the highs that have been rejecting, highs that we could try to force and break out today. If we break out of that, obviously we're going to push very aggressively. So could nicely hold on to that. There's so much room about it. Yeah, 1 micro, exactly. This is a 1 micro. Quick scalping out here. Not much about on the number, $140. But still, our target is usually around $1,000. If trading goes well, if trading goes in a comfortable way, the target is sitting usually on the $1,000. So this is just a trade to have it open here for you guys and have some numbers going around to get more comfortable with our trading. Ticktick promotion ends this day. Exactly, in terms of the 100K account. Right? 100K ends today. The other promotion, the 40% promotion for 50,000 and 150,000 is going to continue. They are having 40% promotion with a coupon Scramble utilized at the checkout. 100K comes with a $300 discount if you use the coupon SCR300. But again, for a distance of price which is around $90 between the two, you get an extra $1,000 at the payout and a lot more room for the drawdown. And the much better option, 150K remains the favorite to people. Let me share with you the link for those of you that are interested to have a moment around it. The general code is the Scramble, and then obviously the flash sale is the SCR300, which ends today. The flash sale, the general, do not end that quickly. This is not looking good, guys. So if the reaction is missing here on that wick, I am out. Although the markets could nicely chop right here below the breakout, which is probably something they would do. Yeah, I don't want to have a such trade open nearly to the resistance when the opening comes, right? Makes no sense. I'm basically expecting a movement before the opening, so we have 7 minutes to go. An interesting time here, guys. How you doing with the start of the week? Saturday. So today you have basically your first, if you requested your payout on Saturday, today is your first business day. Between 3 to 5 business days is the usual time they verify your payout request. If it gets approved, afterwards usually is paid between 48 hours and 72 hours. But right now you're going through verification and you need basically business days. So I guess today's your first business days. This could extend into Friday. This whole week is going to be probably under review. Fernando. Yep. Arthur, the 40% discount for the 150K is not having at the moment an expiration time. No. Yeah, you cannot buy. Might be an issue with the third-party system of the credit cards. Might be a bug around the system or so, but we don't have other people representing this mistake, this issue, or this little problem. If you reach out to me on Discord, I can also reach out to their support a little bit quicker, so I could help you with that. We're moving the stop loss higher, guys. We're moving the stop loss a little bit higher. So we're playing tight with a structure which has been established, which needs to hold. This is gonna chop around these levels until something happens, probably on the opening time. 5 minutes to go, guys. Make sure to like the video so we get the numbers higher and higher. For those of you that enjoy, of course, feel free to subscribe and reach out. What's happening here?
Order filled.
There you go. The first stop loss has been touched, giving probably a possibility for a re-enter. Let me draw some of the lines that we care about, and let me make this ones like that. That's a nice demand zone, right? This is an important place. And of course, the top over there, that kind of keeps us stuck, right? Without forgetting the daily, weekly, and monthly openings. 21,000. Right, so there is support below us. And the long should not come from the middle of the year. Definitely not. I'm not sure if it's going to be a faster resolution, but I can reach out and see what happens, Arthur. At the end of the stream, I'm going to reach out with your ticket number, and we take it forward from there. Yep. Also, 33 minutes to go till we have today's big announcements correlated with ISM manufacturing PMI. It's forecasting above 50, which is standing usually for an industry expansion. However, depends how is that considered by the markets. An interesting spot here for the 1 minute. For a nice movement back to 85, 86, 83. If it wants to hold, but the pressure is coming in. Obviously, there is 2 minutes to go, so volatility is going to increase. Yeah, we have an opening at this time, which is not going to be part of those crazy wild volatility days. Nothing is announcing to be like that. Could be, but it's not announced to be like that, of course. So we gotta enjoy our nice time, our nice days, everyone. This is a nice, interesting spot here. Right before the opening. Another minute to go. A good level here to consider longing, which is something I'm gonna do, guys.
Order filled.
I'll grab my long here. We're singing in a contract. We gotta respect the 10 seconds micro scalping rule, so no take profit and no stop loss within the first 10 seconds because they could get triggered by the fast movements of the markets, and you don't want that. If you don't want that, you don't want that. This is a nice spot of reaction here. This 5-minute candle could close on a nice rejection. And then the next candle to nicely close above the red one. This would be the scenario which looks for a nice continuation to the upside, and we could have a nice scalp going around. 10 seconds to go, fellas, for the opening. And here we are. Dips into the demand zone, dips a little bit lower. Dips into a spot of rejection. We're adding
Order
another
filled.
contract. We got 2 contracts. So the trade becomes quite aggressive here. I'm gonna force for a rejection here on the 5-minute candle. Let's go for it, guys. Let's see if after the opening we have the ability to revisit the high here and deal with the liquidity right there. There's some nice fair value gaps. Two contracts. And a nice possibility to monetize this scalping move. Let's go. Look at that 5-minute candle. Look at that rejection. Come on. Would not be able to leave it above 1,800 because it crosses my 1,500, which is something I like to make maximum in a day. Come on, 20 points and we are hitting a tremendous target. Our trade is running nicely. We got our entry at a perfect position where the markets usually bounce. So that's great. Fireworks are prepared. Just about the numbers to fill. Come on, give us. 2 points. Come on, do it.
Order filled.
Beautiful, and it has been fully achieved, guys. Where are the fireworks? There you go. There you go. We got our maximum for the day, 1,500. And this was copy traded. So obviously we gotta enjoy that. It has been copy traded with a follower account, which has 1,515. And the other one has 1,510. Beautiful. Great job, great job. Beautiful, guys. Thank you for your great perspective. Thank you for your great words on that. Quickly, we made our 1,500. Quickly scalping. Look at a 5-minute candle. This is so powerful in terms of the buying pressure, right? Gotta start looking into the 250k account, because that's something I want to trade today as well. The 250k account. Our 150k is nicely sitting on 2,520 so far, and that's pretty much comfortable. Thank you, fellas. We have been taking our shot. Make sure to like the video for those of you that joined recently. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Help us spread the message and let everyone know about the stream. We got into the markets just for a few minutes. If I look into this specific trade, what was it? We've been here in the markets for, we got into at 428, got out at 432. One was held for 4 minutes, the other one was held for 3 minutes. And it's 1,510. Previous week was as well. We just started on Friday with this account. This is good stats so far. Look at that. Rejection appears, but not sure. It looks like it wants to break out, honestly. To me, this looks like it wants to break out, so thank you, fellas. Indeed, we did play nicely, and we did long basically exactly the level I've marked on a chopping scale, probably till the news are gonna come out in terms of today ISM manufacturing PMI, which stands for a level of diffusion index based on a surveyed purchasing managers in the manufacturing industry. This is what it stands for, basically survey of about 300 purchasing managers, which asks respondents to rate the relative level of business conditions, including employment, production, new orders, prices, supplier deliveries, and inventories. This is from where it stands. Expecting it around 50.6. We get to hear about this in about 14 minutes. Till that, look at the insane markets. Wow, this is what happens when you gotta exit, fellas, and not dream about a breakout. Look at that. This is a lesson here that we have to go through. So, if you would be greedy and not exit at the resistance that was very well known from the previous tops here, it was very, very well known. In other words, it was kind of public. If you don't exit because you're greedy expecting a breakout and then the market runs for the whole day and so on, you can very easily get burned here with your trailing stop loss. You can also very easily get burned here if you put a break-even stop loss. So you can very easily lose your profit. That could mark your day in terms of achieving your target for the day. So that's why it's very dangerous when it comes down to the openings, not to respect basically levels that are very clear. Look at that. In this case scenario, without the exit at the levels we performed, at this point we would have been wiped out in terms of break even. So instead of collecting about, what was it? Let me just, it was in the two trades, so we had made 1,120 and 705. In the first one we lost $300, right? So we made a total of $1,825. That's kind of a lot of money when it comes down to a 150k account that you can accumulate in 2-3 minutes. Look at that sell-off below the structure. What an ugly situation here. We got into the daily, weekly, and monthly. Below 21k, a minute to go for this candle. There is a lot of political tension these days. So the markets will always be, during such environments, highly volatile. I wouldn't be surprised basically for this 5-minute candle to get a strong rejection, an ugly rejection. But also, let me tell you something. The blue line here, 200 EMA, is something you don't want to underestimate. You don't also want to underestimate a daily, weekly, and monthly openings right there on 21,000s. So this is kind of a difficult situation. How you doing, fellas? Make sure to like the video and enjoy. Let me know, how is your morning? How is the start of your week? Look at a sell-off. You know what happened here is they trapped people into longs, expecting some breakout traders over there above 21,100. The ones that are nicely trading based on breakouts, and breakouts that are never breakouts until they confirm on the candlesticks. Right, so now you need to see clearly the confirmation with the candlestick closing. This is what we call a breakout. Not just about during the candle that is live, it goes to the upside, but then before it closes, it completely rejects. The candle is going to communicate a total different message. And that's the only message that we care about. What is not changeable. Do not forget about it. Massive sell-off over here. And a difficult moment for a bunch of traders. Because the markets were not looking that bad for such sell-off, honestly. Especially after that strong 5-minute, a market continuation was on the table. But you know how it works. This is definitely a difficult moment to trade. We're up with 1,510. And we're definitely not going to trade on this 2 accounts today anymore. Today, specifically today. We have finished with these 2 accounts today. I still gotta take care about the 250k, where I'd like to make around $2,000, $2,500. I'd like to make around that level, about $2,500 in profit with this one. This is what would bring me to the target. Yet there is no opportunity to trade right now. Still gotta wait it out. I'd like to see how does this 5-minute 200 EMA react. And I care about, just like I said, in the way the candle closes, not in the way it looks right now, which could be nothing comparable to the way it's gonna look, and the signal is gonna be translated at the time of closing. I hope you have a great starting of the week, and enjoy. We got our fellow traders, our fellow community members participating on the stream. The place we're trading is Ticktick Trader. By the way, for those of you that are not familiar, you can definitely Check out my YouTube channel for more details. Ticktick Trader is running 40% discount right now. And the best option in terms of cost efficiency, payout threshold, and so on is the 150k Prime. This is instant funded. This is not challenge accounts. So whatever money you make is already possible to be requested as a payout. Right, the coupon code is Scramble, which is utilized at the checkout for those of you that would like to discover more about it. And my YouTube channel is full of tutorial videos about the company. They've been online for 3 years already. In January, they run their anniversary. We talked about them. So Ticktick Trader right here, having probably the best services in terms of instant funding existing at this time. It's 1-to-1 payout threshold with the max loss. It's 1-to-1, so that's a good sign. Look at that pressure, fellas. Very ugly. If I get into the 15 minutes, oh, look at that. 15 minutes would definitely require me to wait for the 200 EMA blue line. This looks terrible so far. Although it's just a candle representing about 150 points. You know, I'm expecting today not to lose this specific low, which has been established as a range with a possibility of breakout here. It's currently showing up as a fake out. So that was just a fake out. It's confirmed right now with this candle. You're back in a range. You trapped people into longs over there, allowing them for a few hours to long on their positions. You take the whole thing back, take stop losses, take trailings out, enjoy. And then, of course, re-establish the movement to the upside, because this is, overall speaking, still looking to the upside. You got your trending line like this. That's how you got your trending line. So there is a possibility right there. You know, this whole red candle that we got here of 15 minutes could be very easily engulfed by a positive ISM manufacturing PMI, which comes out in 15 minutes. And that's another excitement. No possibility to trade before that. Surely no possibilities. Yet the 1 minute looks interesting here for a V-shaped recovery, guys. Let me get into my 250k and just go on a tight entry of single contract here.
Order filled.
Tight stop loss. A risky type of a trade, which is why we're just on a single contract on a 250k account. Risky type of a trade. But still. Come on, break back above 100s. This could be really profitable if we break above 100s. Markets could fight back to the top. This 15-minute candle needs to close above the daily, weekly, monthly. Those levels right there, which is 21,000, exactly 21,000. Time to break above and push. You want to continue on this 1 minute candle. You need strength right now. Come on. It's going to be a nice trade. And this could be a V-shaped recovery, so I have to be greedy in this one. I have to be greedy. If I play my stop loss right now exactly on the entry, my stop loss is set on my entry, so we're going to break even. If I'm going to get wiped out, that's it, but I still have to allow this one might get into a nice aggressive V-shaped recovery. So we do have the other two accounts that have achieved their targets of 1,500 profit today, so that kind of gives me the ability to risk more on this one.
Order filled.
Yep. We've been stopped out. And obviously, it's a place of reaction here, so it's just a place where the market could easily bounce back to the top again on this 1 minute. It's kind of stupid to play the break-even rule from this standpoint, but at the same time, if the market runs to the other side non-stop and falls continuously, you're gonna feel sorry about not using a stop loss at the right place. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure, fellas, to like the video and enjoy our material. If so, having a great time. So that's something really important for our community members to definitely share your reactions. Morning, good afternoon, and good evening for some guys. What's happening here? Like, how does the 5 minute looks like? Really ugly. Obviously, the trending line that I have here is for the 15 minutes, and one thing should not be underestimated. That if we go wick to wick, in terms of the direction of the trending line, then this is the level we have for the trending line, which is supposed to hold. And this is the level of 925. Still don't want to long it here, but there is a nice chance of reaction, of refusal. 9 minutes to go till we have the news on the PMI. Which is why things could get really ugly down to 880s right there, where we had a double bottom structure today. Would be careful about that one too. Things are pretty much tight here. So I'm definitely going to work with them as naturally as possible. Look at that 1 minute. Is this going to hold here on the 920s? Look at that 5 minute candle. We're not going to rush. We're not going to hurry up. Markets did had its chance to push nicely above 21,000 earlier where we were in a long. And we just stopped out at the break even, so the chance was missed by the markets. I guess we had a decent entry. And it keeps going. Probably this 5 minute is going to have a form of reaction. Either at this level where the trending line meets with the price action around 920s, or simply at our flat blue line, which stands around 875, which is kind of the place we've been reacting throughout the day. Interesting. 7 minutes to go till we got the news. How is it going around NVIDIA? NVIDIA last 5 minutes is trying to survive at this level. There is a gap above the openings, and this is dangerous for the bears. S&P 500 just filled up the gap based on the opening, and there is a strong chance of reaction here. Same thing appears for the Nasdaq, guys. Bitcoin is dying around. Last few minutes since the opening, we've been taking a hit here, representing $3,000 for the BTC price. That's a lot. And we just came into our flat line, a demand zone, demand line here on 870s. This might just come into reaction with the today's news of the market. A nice flush below the whole structure and a strong reaction is on the table as well. So it's kind of risky right now as we're just having about less than 4 minutes to go. I would be very careful with this whole thing. I mean, look at the Bitcoin reaction. You know, we know definitely that Bitcoin is not the norm driving the markets, but still, it is something we do not underestimate. NVIDIA is down as well. Gold is suffering too since the opening. S&P 500 is dipping hardly. Look at the Ethereum, guys. Quickly dipping in an hour another 5%. 844. Look at that here. That's exactly the low, the wick we had earlier. You would call me crazy if I'm gonna take a shot here of a contract. You would definitely call me crazy for that. But I'm telling you, This is an interesting place.
Order filled.
One contract long. We're gonna cut this early one on the 250k account. So 2 minutes to go till the news come out. This could be the nice 5-minute candlestick reaction. A strong pressure to the upside. Time to reject this movement and get back to the top if we want to remain bullish for the day. One minute to go, guys. Come on. Thirty seconds. And the volatility is about to start. Dipping below nicely. News are pending. Let's see the market reaction. 50.3, guys, which is lower than expected on 50.6. But still above the 50s, which is usually what considered to be a nice indication. What's happening here with the markets? Taking a dip below, continuing grabbing liquidity. This is another 5-minute candle, which we should not go below the level we just marked right now. 761. We should quickly buy this whole thing back and push to the other side. Usually, and most of the time, the first move is actually the false move. The markets can go the other way. This will also be a very interesting spot to double up my position. But again, on 2 contracts on such volatility in the first minutes of the openings is not a good idea for sure. I do agree with that. A such 5-minute closing would be amazing, guys. Honestly. That would be just amazing. Come on. $959 is my target because of 2,500 maximum that I'd like to make in a day. Obviously, from my entry, that would be around 130 points, so there is a long way to go. We still have to fight through this specific selling pressure here and try to reverse the market, so there is definitely a long way to go. And this is definitely a risky trade and a risky approach that I'm doing here, but we are nicely positive on the other account. With 1,510 on the first one, and then the other one is 1,515 as we are copy trading them. These 2 accounts have hit their target for the day. $250K is the one where we gotta make our number around 2,500. That would be really comfortable with. Morning everyone, morning fellas, hope you have a great time and a great start of the week. That's a beautiful 5-minute candle. That's a beautiful rejection. This is a great time to continue the market movement. This is a great time to add more to this position. Which is definitely something I'm not going to do. Too much risk, too much exposure is not going to benefit me. A single contract is already sufficient for a 250k account in a such market condition, especially after the opening. That's alright. With the ISM manufacturing PMI above 50 but still lower than the forecast, we might get to see the markets not fearing inflation. And if not fearing inflation, then the market is aiming for a dovish perspective, rate cuts. And of course, this might be something the markets are searching. So a lower number than the forecast, than the expected, is actually helping that specific scenario. That's why the first movement could be the fake one. Could be the wrong one. Which happens in so many cases. 1 minute wants to push here. Looks nice for a possible continuation. Get above 863, 865 and just continue closing above that, so there's big chances you are just going to continue. That's a beautiful 5-minute closing, guys. That's a beautiful support reaction. I guess that one happens on the other assets as well. Nvidia reacts over here too. S&P 500 reacted very nicely at a meaningful point on the 200 EMA. 918. That's a beautiful reaction here. Very unlikely we're going to lose this specific low today. So anything that dips back into the wick of that candle is going to receive a strong buying pressure. Anything that dips into that. That's why working with trailings in this case scenario where you're just, trying to protect is very risky due to the fact that trailing in this scenarios would take your profits away. You gotta leave that room for the markets to express themselves. BTC wants to react as well. Wants to get back above 90s, and there's big chances for Bitcoin to do that. Bitcoin is gonna have a strong volatility week. With a White House hosting the first crypto summit, with news around the crypto space, with news around their strategic investments, so there is going to be big discussion and big deal on the corner. Nice spot here to get 2 contracts, guys. Really nice spot here. But this is tough, right? This is tough to get on 2 contracts. It's a little bit too much. Like, it would definitely represent overexposure and to be over leveraged. Even with a single contract, you can make nice money. Look at that. This is a great spot here. Honestly, at this time, this is a great spot. A lot of the people, I'm sure, in the way this 1 minute candle looks, they are longing this whole thing here. Stop loss is going to be on $30 profit, break even. And the take profit is going to be there where my daily target sits. You know, if we reject this whole thing, then that's it, right? Nothing to be done with that. Look at this. I mean, the whole thing here is still going to remain bullish. It's just they are playing with the orders. What a good chance of a breakout and market continuation we had earlier. We were up about $1,000. Halfway through the target.
Order filled.
And there you go. Break even. Time for me to get into the micros. Time for me to get into the micros and look for a DCA possibility here into the level starting with 800s. Obviously, this is only going to function if we are not
Order filled.
bearish. We got into the 5 micros here at this point. Definitely looking forward for the low we established today with a volatility to hold. And definitely not to break below that. This is still a 250k account where we do have tons of room. The reason I got into the micros is because I have more flexibility in the risk management. And this is definitely helping the trader to handle the risk. Earlier we were up by $1,000 on a single contract on the mini. And I would have exited partially, but still. Interesting spot here to add another 3 contracts, honestly, for a nice continuation at this time, and we're
Order
gonna do it,
filled.
guys. We got 8 contracts. We're looking for the continuation here, which is decent so far. Come on, this 1 minute candle that we got here, this one, needs to be the one that pushes and do not reverses or rejects like the previous ones. There are some very interesting levels here around 960, so there is about 80 points that should be comfortable. Look at that 5 minute, represents a lot of strength if it engulfs us. You are my bullishness. We're gonna take our water for today. So after you hit your first payout threshold, which is 7,500, the payout threshold on a 150k account is 7,500. It is 5% of the balance. Once you hit your 5%, you take $3,000 out. That's the max payout. So you remain with 4,500 above the main balance, above the balance, right? That's going to be your max drawdown, $4,500. And in your second cycle, you have to earn $3,000 minimum. So you have to earn back what you cashed out. And this is happening in your second or any subsequent cycles. You have to earn minimum $3,000. This is an interesting spot here if we consider a market continuation, guys, to add more to our position. If the market wants to reverse here on the 1 minute, then again, we could consider adding slightly below on our entry. Around 800s. So that's the way it works. Nvidia wants to hold. Obviously, it wants to hold the low, which has been established on 28th of November. It's a powerful level. BTC above 90 grand quite quickly. That was a strong recovery. And the S&P 500 is definitely trying to hold the line. Not giving up that quickly. This is a spot here I could add an extra 3 positions, guys, honestly. Looks like a chop on the 1 minute. Before I hope they decide to take it above 868. That's where we've been stuck in the past couple of minutes, 868. That's the level we need on the 1 minute to close above, so then the market continues. Two more positions
Order
here.
filled.
2 more contracts. At that level, we came out with 10 contracts so far. This is why, just like I said, I enjoy dealing with micros because of the risk management abilities. You have more flexibility that helps me. I don't fear right now at all a liquidity sweep because this is on a 250k account, so it has a lot of the room from that standpoint. Definitely playing with bigger numbers here. Make sure to like the video, fellas. Thank you for watching so far. Also, if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel. We do have for today 2 accounts on profit that we did on pre-market, $1,510 at the beginning of the stream. We only trade during the live stream. We don't trade off stream at all, right? So whatever we trade is going to be in a continuation through the live streams from a stream to the other, fully transparent. First account and the second account sitting on $1,515, they have been copy traded, right? So the first 2 of 150k, and then the 250k is what we're trading right now, where we had 2 very interesting trades, very interesting positions. One was around 700-800s in profit, and we had our stop loss and break even. We were aiming for a higher level, so the break even has been touched. And the second trade was around $1,100 in profit. We did not exit it there. Break even again, it has been touched. There you go. Also, a very important thing is a good entry. A good entry gives you the ability to do risk management of risk-free. Risk-free means that at some point when the market has sufficient room and creates a market structure of invalidation for you to trade on a break-even condition. Break-even condition means to take your stop loss to your entry or slightly above, cover your fees, your expenses or whatever, and sit on a trade without a risk of losing. That's the real comfort. Now, at this point here, we should see a reaction. I'm going to add
filled.
2 more contracts. We are sitting on 12 contracts. Obviously micros. And still a interesting scenario here for the 1 minute. 5 minute is not looking ugly, or it's not looking bad at all. Right? It definitely wants to form a low here below the pre-market low that we had pre-opening, right? That one has been grabbed today, and now we've been just holding so far in the past couple of minutes onto that specific level. Anything above 760s is nicely held. That's why we are in a long from here. Let me just get into the 1 minute as well on this chart. And look at that, the way it looks. They're playing with us here. How does Nvidia looks like? Nvidia wants to hold, just like I said. BTC above 90 grand. Gold is pushing very, very hard in the last 20-30 minutes, guys. About to break out of today's high, which could nicely move the market. S&P 500, a lot of the room to the downside into that wick still. But the reaction for the day is nice so far here. So this kind of thing is possible. Like a zigzag into the bottom. Tesla is right there. No big deal with that. Look at those ugly 1 minute candles. We could do better than that. Hope you have a great starting of the week, guys, and enjoy. It's going to be an interesting time here on our trading board. For 2 accounts, we've hit our target, and we're adding 2 more contracts, fellas.
Order filled.
If you don't drink, you do not... Sorry, if you don't risk, you do not drink champagne. That is the rule. I know where to put my stop loss for the last 2 contracts that I added right below the current candle. So there's always, with this micros, the ability of micromanaging and doing some nice partial exits at the time things get ugly. $2,500 is the maximum I'm supposed to make because of the consistency. So in case of a strong movement to the upside, I do need to have my take profit set automatically. 2,529 right there. That would be sufficient. Excellent play. Thank you, buddy. Looks great so far, and looks out on a great possibility, great probability here. So we will keep adding to our position and slowly increasing. As we have seen, the selling pressure is not controlling the price action at those levels. The selling pressure has been controlling the price action on 868, what we're dealing with right now. But in the lows, around the 800s, we were controlling, we as bulls. Come on. $1,200. Could get some partial exits at this level. Could secure some profits. But guess what? What did I told you when I added my last 2 contracts? I did told you. The one that is not risking is not drinking champagne. So, obviously, sounds like a comedy, but I'm gonna put my stop loss here with $51 on break even, and that's it, right? So we are trading risky with a possibility. Come on, 20 points to go. Time to break out of the previous wick. Time to get above that one and secure the profit here. That's the way. Come on. Give me that nice number. No exit so far. We're still sitting on 14 contracts. Yeah, look at that, fellas. 10 points to go, 5 points, 3 points, 2 points, and...
Order filled.
There you go. Beautiful. Where are the fireworks? Here are the fireworks. 2,522. Completely securing the profits for today. On 150k, on 250k, everything has been secured so far. That's a beautiful trade right there. A nice experience. Make sure to like the video, fellas, and subscribe to the channel. We're having a great time here. About 50 people watching. 2,500 on this one, and then 1,500 on the other two accounts. This one still has $1,600 to go till I get back to my original balance, right? As you can see on the top left corner, there you go. The balance is 248,422, and we started from 250k because it's a 250k account. This is day number 2. So in the first day, we strongly got hit. But today we strongly recovered as well. So 2,500 on a 20% consistency matches the 5% payout threshold. 5% payout threshold means out of a 250k, 12,500. So 2,500 matches that 20% consistency. How many micro contracts did you enter? I had a job of 14 micros. 14. Yeah, well, it's great to handle with micros because of the DCA, but let me tell you something. Also, thank you for the great wishes, guys. Appreciate your words. Let me tell you something about the DCA. It is definitely enjoyed by the majority, especially when it saves your ass. Especially when you DCA into minus and you quickly recover from there when you're dealing with small values and the market is not having an overextended movement throughout the whole day, just non-stop down. No chop, no zigzag, nothing like that. Non-stop in a direction. Well, that's when you totally get killed by DCA. Yes, Ticktick Trader allows DCA, allows scalping, allows whatever you want. Obviously, hedging is not allowed, and microscalping has rules, which means you need to hold for minimum 10 seconds your position open during the first 5 minutes of the opening and before the market opens with 5 minutes. So there is a window of 10 minutes while you need to hold your position for minimum 10 seconds. Other than that, they have the 5 seconds rule. During any other time, it's just 5 seconds, but during that specific microscalping, 10 seconds before and after with 5 minutes, right? So that's something you gotta keep in mind. I mean, how do you protect yourselves against that? Is simply you don't trade during that period. If you have a strategy that has a preset structure, of take profit and a stop loss. For example, if I go right now to my settings, and I can go to the risk settings as I'm right here. Let me just take the camera away from there and share with you. So I can go to risk settings, and if I set position risk profit brackets, if I set this brackets, risk in dollar 500, profit 1,500, and then I tick this, automatically apply risk and profit bracket to new positions. If I do this, then every single time, obviously I gotta save this before, right? So every single time I open up a position, those will be the numbers. Now, the numbers will be added automatically, right? And the markets could hit those numbers very fast, in less than 10 seconds. So then I get screwed. Then I get burned by breaking that rule, which is a hard rule, and that takes your account away. This is why during those 10 minutes, before the market opens with 5 minutes and after the market opens with 5 minutes, if you're using usually these things, you don't have to trade. Of course, Arthur, you can definitely do DCA. They do allow DCA without any issues. So that was a beautiful trade. Lots of beautiful trades for the day so far. Everything is on profit, on the maximum profit. So it's not just tiny numbers, we are actually on a maximum profit. Make sure to smash that like button of the video and enjoy a possibility here. Look at that. Is that gonna be a nice V-shaped recovery? Would definitely not exclude it. What's happening in the other markets? Nvidia wants to move as well. S&P 500 is probably going to break out of this one. Obviously, it's a difficult resistance point, but still. 972. Give us a 15-minute closing, which is quite meaningful for day trading. Give us that so we can nicely enjoy. Let me just put my... Let me just put myself back to the top left corner like this. No more trading for the day. Like I said, discipline is the most important thing. Like without this, everything becomes useless. Without discipline, whatever amount of money you make is going to disappear. So the question no longer stands for how much money do you make. The question goes into how much money do you keep out of what you make. Making money is not hard. Keeping that money is hard when it comes down to trading. BTC, what are you doing? BTC, you definitely want to hold your 90 grand. You are into a possible amazing week in terms of the first crypto summit at the White House. And then you have the possible, there are just rumors, of course, at this time, 0% capital gain tax. And something that has been announced by Trump yesterday, a strategic national cryptocurrency reserve. We're going back to all-time high if that's the case. However, this is not an investment or financial advice. This is definitely for entertainment purposes. That's a hell of a 15-minute candle right there. How long have you been trading? So, I've been trading cryptocurrency not as day trading, but as swing trading and long-term investments since 2014. So this is 11 years. 11 years into swing trading, which means usually that I'm holding my positions for a few weeks, sometimes even a few months. A different type of trading, a total different type of trading, most of the time on spot, without leverage most of the time. This is something that it has been for many years. But in 2024, I got into day trading stocks. So this is the time I've been trading around day trades, which is total different. Yet I am slowly getting more and more comfortable with, especially right now with a live stream. This is again a hell of an exercise. But I do enjoy it, so I'm happy to share my knowledge and my perspectives with you guys. Hopefully you are in the same situation here. Keep on smashing that like button and enjoy. We do have good results for today. 1,500 for the first account, 1,515 for the second account, and then 2,522 for the third account. This is definitely beautiful. Look at a BTC chart, guys. BTC is starting to deal with volatility on these levels. Again, we're speaking about massive news. So in the past 3 days, Bitcoin went from 78 to 95. That's insane. 21% at this price level is a lot. Possibly with the news around crypto this specific week, we break out of this resistance trending line. And when we do that, we are going to target the all-time highs. How does the 5-minute looks like? Not trading S&P 500 these days. Not trading in these days. I did trade it at the time I started my day trading in 2014 with stocks. I did try the S&P 500 too, but I've been more comfortable with the Nasdaq. So that's something that I kept dealing with. It's a beautiful rejection here, guys. I mean, this is definitely not the most bearish chart. It does have its normal and usual volatility. We shouldn't be surprised about it. But still, we gotta enjoy ourselves. Yep. Another thing that I did wanted to share with you is how do you keep control of your consistency. It's very simple. Obviously, consistency kills those great trades that on personal account you have to let them run, so the runners. But the idea here is different, and it has benefits in terms of risk management and discipline, right? So consistency helps with that. It do not helps you with the big numbers, because you have to cut your good trades quite early most of the time. So you have to play clearly based on the number you know that is going to make your 20% for the payout threshold that you have. You got to play by that number without any exception. If you know 2,500 is the maximum, that's what you play, that's where you say you take profit, and that's it, right? Because I keep hearing people, especially in our community on Discord, that accidentally they made, instead of 1,500, 3,000 in a day. So what's happening next? Well, what's happening next? Well, instead of having 7,500 as your payout threshold, you have 15 grand. Because $3,000 in a day, in order for 3,000 to be 20% consistency, you have basically the necessity to make your 15 grand, right? You gotta multiply times 5. That's the way it works. So your best day times 5 gives you the payout threshold in terms of consistency. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the concept. I do have a video explaining consistency, so that's something that you might care. There's tons of videos about me reviewing companies and discussing on the channel. Whenever you have a minute and you gotta look into, make sure to check that out. But also, what's happening on this wild and crazy 1 minute, guys? Look at that. The selling pressure is not keeping up and is not really dominating like it was dominating here. Clearly, from the time we established around 800s on the low, there's tons of rejections done by the bulls as patterns. So they have a word to say. Obviously, trading personal accounts is different, guys. It's totally different. It's not like trading prop firms. Even trading cryptocurrency is totally different. Trading crypto as swing trading is fully different. There is not much excitement going on for me in swing trading. I've been doing it for 11 years, so if I sit in a position for 2 months, obviously I don't really touch that for a long period of time. Sometimes DCA, but there is not much going on during many days. So that's why a type of trading that keeps you in the business of extremely active is basically the day trading, and that comes in nicely with the Nasdaq for me. That's definitely something that is worth the attention. Make sure to like the video, guys, especially for those of you that came in recently. Like the video, subscribe, and enjoy. Coupon for Ticktick Trader, and the link is in the description area. Coupon as well as Scrambo. You get 40% discount. That's the max discount available. Yeah, Leon, nice bullish pressure. That's right. Bulls do have the ability here to push everything back to 21,100s. They do show strength. So no reason at the moment to fear that. It's just a question, how do we get there? Through what maneuvers? Tesla looks ready for a breakout. Just like I said earlier, gold is very strong. Indeed, it still stays strong. Bitcoin is staying strong as well. Ethereum as well. You know, cryptocurrencies here enjoying. Well, while the US dollar is definitely not in a good shape. When you see this chart, it is a nice cascade, benefiting the others. When you hit your targets, the highest profit is the best thing. So respecting and not going greedy about it is, again, an important step towards achieving payouts, achieving numbers, and becoming much better at trading. Because it's not just about, you know, the payouts you have on the prop firms. It's also the long-term discussion here. Prop firms are usually one little step in your trading career. There are good places to exercise, good places to validate and gain the sufficient confidence in your skills based on your performance to take your private resources and deal with a personal account in a such manner. But you have to trade exactly like you would trade on a personal account. On a personal account, you don't trade without a stop loss, because one way or the other, you are going to fully get burned. You don't have to be burned every day. It's sufficient if you lose your account every 2 weeks. Nothing becomes worthy if that happens, whatever you make in between. So obviously, having this transition, which is also why in a lot of the props, I know people that are getting moved to live trading on the props are suffering. The first element that has to be said is the psychological element. That's something that pressures people a lot more on live than what happened on the evaluations or, you know, simply simulation. So for the users, it's not just about being comfortable trading on simulation, it's also the question around live trading psychology. Beautiful movement so far on the Nasdaq, close to 21,000. That 5-minute has a nice closing. What about the 15 minutes? Looks nice as well. Today, ISM manufacturing PMI came in lower than expected, but still above 50. Usually that's the borderline. Above 50 indicates industry expansion, below 50 indicates contraction. Could be not sufficient expansion, basically, by portraying that to the forecast. So we might need a bit of a dovish perspective to the economy. Maybe lowering rates, which is what most of the people would love to. But then we gotta fear inflation with that. So by lowering the rates, purchasing power increases. You cannot expect the prices to go down. Most of the time, the prices in a such case scenario will slowly go up. And could force for another risk of inflation. So probably this is what they're fearing. Good job, guys, in our Discord. Make sure to join. For those of you that are not yet on my Discord, let me share with you my link. Here we are. This is basically the link of our Discord community, prop firm community Discord conversation with everything that is beneficial and useful for a trader. What a great time to grab your profits so early. Let's have a bit of analysis on this 150k accounts, on the performance stats. Total profit 2,520 because we got 2 profitable days with this ones. as you can see, the majority of the trades that I did are usually in the minutes sector, right? So not in the, under 45 seconds. No, we don't have trades under 45 seconds. Usually in the minutes. Trade count, it's 5 trades between 5 minutes and 10 minutes, right? So this would be nice. So if we make two more days of 1,500 here, for example, Tuesday and Wednesday, tomorrow and the next day, that gives us an extra $3,000. So we're going to be at 155,500s, and we will still need $2,000 because we got to grab that 7,500s. Yeah, 1,500 is probably not the easiest thing to achieve as constantly. Your max daily loss is half of your maximum loss of the account. Maximum loss is 7,500. Max daily loss comes in as what? 3,750. A soft rule. Let me quickly verify that. Yeah, 3,750. So 3,750 if you consider the soft rule, which means that you're not going to get your account closed when you hit that. Simply, it's just for the day. You're not going to be able to trade anymore during that day. Tomorrow you can resume trading, obviously if you still have balance. Sorry guys. Now, that gives sufficient comfort. But still, numbers around 1,000 sound better for me. Even 800, even 700. I mean, collecting such numbers is probably the most important thing, I guess. Collecting profits. Even $500 in a day. It adds up. Right? So if you dedicate 8 to 10 days for such payout, and if you run through 3 accounts, then that's a request of $9,000 from 10 days. That's $900 a day. Assuming you can do that twice a month, that would be $18,000 a request in a month. 3 months gives you above 50 grand. So with a 50 grand, you kind of have a solid starting point of a personal account. But that means to trade very well on this simulation ones, right? Really to perform well on the simulation ones. Because all these numbers mathematically and theoretically sound nice. The problem is with the execution, and I'm totally aware of that. Fully and totally aware. A temporary rejection here for the 15 minute, but still. Not in a bad shape. Like if we successfully secure a closing above 920s, that means you kind of secure a closing above the 15 minute 200 EMA, the blue line, this one. And that would happen already 3rd or 4th time for the day, so that could nicely take you to the resistance into the 21,100s nicely. 7 minutes to go out of this candle, which will kind of tell us if we have that force to close around that level. Hope you had a nice trading day, guys. An amazing time. Slowly and slowly this is trying to build to the top side. Once again, for the ISM manufacturing PMI, we came out above 50 but still below the expected number. Yet the market so far is not reacting bearish to this. It did had a nice Monday low. I definitely want you to know that Monday lows are very important to be deeply generated, right? So deeply executed Monday lows. And then from there throughout the whole week, you want to build, because usually they are nicely respected. So if you deep on the Mondays, then nicely that thing could be constructed with the Monday high. Usually that's the combination Monday low, Monday high. You are slowly constructing above in the upcoming days, transforming your Monday low towards the Monday high, converting Monday high basically as the lowest quite quickly on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then just continuing basically throughout the whole week, which is how most of the time a bullish week looks like. If we take out the lines and look into the daily here, this is obviously a reaction so far around 21,000 and a nice confirmation and closing above it would not be bearish at all. It is a place of bullishness here, guys, especially the bullishness comes from this high here. That one, you know, keeps you. Look at a nice structural around low holding into the 200 EMA. So there's numerous things here that are not bearish. The weekly candle, the previous weekly, the one that we had, is angry. That's true. It's kind of angry. I would not underestimate the previous angry candles as well of the 1 week. I would definitely not underestimate those two. So just because we face that once again, they do not necessarily tells us we gotta die from here. Certainly not. There is a risk, of course, involved, and we need to accept that. But there is basically users that are trying to portray just because such weekly candles appeared in the past as possible bearish continuation, they also have to follow the same path. No, they did appear as a reversal point in the past as well. So if there is no strong market data portraying a specific direction, then let me tell you honestly, most of the time it's just about subjectiveness. And if subjectiveness decides your trading and steps into the market, then obviously trading is impossible, because that's going to be fully emotional. 3 minutes to go for this 15-minute candle. It does sit around these levels, important levels. Nvidia suffering. That's a strong sell-off on the S&P 500. And obviously a reaction on the dollar. The pressure is gaining here for the bears. Just like I said at the beginning of the stream, there is a lot of political tension, a lot of political issues out there that are not really allowing the markets to stay in a decent uptrend. No, it's a constant sell-off pressure next to the door these days. So the trading style needs to be adapted to that. Which means you just cannot be greedy on swing trades and accept basically the nature of the day trading that must be cut quite early. As you can see, things can get ugly. Here from 21,385 down to 2400s. Percentage wise, that was 4.26, which kind of means something because we're speaking about a day and 15 hours. So for a day, that's not a joke. Great time so far. Beautiful. So 20 seconds to go, guys. And a pretty strong selling pressure here. Pretty strong and dominant selling pressure here. Looks like we're not closing on 930s. We are failing for that. Looks like we are into a chopping session here. Excuse me. Great, fellas. You know, I'm just gonna call it a day here. We got 2 hours of streaming. First account 1,510. Second account 1,515. They were copy traded. And then the third account, which is a bigger size, is on a 250K. We made $2,522, which is about 1%. So that's pretty much the performance for the day. You can definitely see all the trades because they have been performed on stream. Everything that I trade is performed on stream. Everything is recorded and shared with you. I also explain and discuss the reasons why I do trade and what's happening as a whole picture. So it was a good day, especially when you hit the max profit is a good day. Thank you guys for your great words. Do not forget, we have our live stream from Monday to Friday on the openings. 30 minutes before the market opens. Having a bit of pre-market discussion and some analysis as usually. Sometimes even trading before pre-market, and sometimes that works comfortable. With a continuation into the market opening and usually with all the news that we have daily. Great time, fellas. Make sure to like the video, enjoy, share with your friends, and of course, for those of you that need links for Ticktick, the link is in the description area. Coupon code is right there. Thank you guys for the great words. Have a great day. Let me just drop you in a chat. Have a great day, guys. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. Tomorrow, same hour, we meet up, and we are gonna have a great time. Thank you. And I wish you a great day.